Good evening, everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. My name is Fatima. I will be discussing the principles of communication today. There are quite a couple. I will also talk about why we communicate and some ethics of communication and why they're important. First and foremost, we communicate in every way using our hands, our face, just all these little things that you don't think that are communication. They are, for the most part, most likely. We cannot not communicate, if that makes sense. It's almost impossible to not communicate. We are always saying something, and you have to be careful with that because a lot of times it can be misinterpreted. But we're always saying something. Not communicating is impossible. Another principle would be communication is irreversible. You want to make sure that you think about what you're going to say before you say it, because there's just no taking it back. And you want to make sure that you don't have to backtrack and have to explain to somebody what it is that you meant to say. Another principle, communication is ambiguous. A lot of people are often judged by their behavior and not by their words or intentions. So you always have to be conscious of what you are saying. That is very important, and how you're saying it as well. Another good principle, depending on who you're speaking to, communication involves content, with relationships and with relationships. For example, if you're saying I love you to your mom or your dad, that is different than saying I love you to your partner. You want to remember that when you're having a conversation with somebody, it shapes the message according to what your relationship with that person is. Why we communicate? We communicate for many reasons, just to communicate. Communicating is important, and like I said, you cannot not do it. So we communicate to form relationships, to enhance relationships, for the better of your health, mental, physical. You want to make sure you're able to communicate, what you're going through, how you're feeling, all that, and relationships as well. For professional reasons, you communicate with your bosses, you communicate with your colleagues, you communicate with, your professors, anybody. Professional reasons is another big reason as to why we communicate. Some ethics on communication. Ethics are important when communicating. You want to make sure that you are guided by your moral principles and, just whatever is established by society and what society establishes as good communication or good morals. You always want to make sure that you are fair, you behave fairly. You want to make sure that you are honest. What you say, make sure you mean it. You want to speak with integrity. You want to make sure that, you're just including integrity when you are speaking and communicating. And, last but not least, you want to demonstrate respect and show that you are respecting what somebody is saying, whoever you're speaking to, whoever you're communicating with. You want to make sure that the respect is there. But yes, that is one of, the bigger things. Definitely always respect the other person. Thank you all for listening. That is what I have for communication principles. I hope that all kind of made sense and you are able to understand and communicate better. And I hope that was, understandable. Thank you all again.